right, so welcome everyone to the Soul Station for Session 2, Lesson 3 on the subject of hate for a spiritual perspective with the spiritual bee. So what we're going to do for this session, we're going to start out with the blackboard. And as you recall, it's been a while. I've experienced some death in the family, and I'm just now getting back for your monthly reports. But I left you with an assignment to decipher in your own words what the meaning of hate is. What does it comprise of? So before we go into some scriptures, we're going to kind of jot down because, as I said before, we're trying to come up with a backronym, which I think means like turning a word. It's like giving it an acronym, making a word an acronym, but it's a backronym, right? So it's going to actually turn into a type of phrase, okay? So we're dealing with the subject of hate, okay? If you recall all of those scriptures from session 2, lesson 1, and lesson 2, we talked about the loose side of things, which is the love of us, which we're given a lot of order, it was like, don't hate your brother, how to treat your neighbor, and what hate does, and what God hates on the guilt side. God is love, guilt side of hate, and the orders of how to treat your brethren. It talked about how haters sow discord amongst the brethren, and how God hates people who cause discord and dissembles relationships out of attitude. It also talked about hidden hate, which was like the most dangerous hate, and how the Most High has a problem with that. So, as a teacher of sorts, I have learned that people live better when they can define things for themselves and not just go on how they've been taught, because many of us have been taught wrong, and we can't fault the past because they only gave us what they thought was right, okay? And we know that when it comes to hate, it deals with a lot of hostility, right? It deals with hostility, at least as far as I'm concerned, okay? It has a type of angst. It has a type of attitude attached to it, right? All right. And with T, it was not a lot, but we can deal with like turmoil, okay? Tumultuous behavior. This is the kind of assignment that I am giving you. You have to come up with your own thing. We may meet up in the middle, we may have some differences, but I am sure that once you define it for yourself, you can live up to your own expectations, okay? And when it comes to E, what I have found is that when it comes to hate, people feel entitled, okay? What do you mean by that? Okay, so nobody knows hate more than, say, melanated people, brown people, the black people, those enslaved, okay? We know hate like nobody else. But when you think about hate, not only is it an attitude which has been given to someone, just like you have to learn love, in my perspective, you have to learn hate. But it comes out of a type of entitlement, okay? And for many of us in the past, our ancestors had to deal with the hate because other people felt they were more entitled to the jobs, okay? Some people hate you because they feel like they're entitled to a position, okay? They're entitled to the spotlight, not knowing the backdrop oftentimes of why you're in that position, because man is not the only being that can promote you. God can promote you in ways that nobody will ever understand. And people wonder, how did you get there to why you're there? Because God says you're the best fit for that position. So hate can come out of a lot of things. But again, in my perspective, hate is a taught attitude. So at the end of the day, we need to come up with a backronym for ourselves, okay, of describing or giving a meaning to this unfortunate behavior, okay? So what I want to do at this point is just turn to a few scriptures for us to understand hate a little bit better, but we're going to be coming from the cool gel side of hate, which is the center of our love. Jesus is love. And we're going to look at some different perspectives about hate that may be kind of shocking to you, but it is totally in line with life today. So let's grab our Bibles, our highlighters, our pencils, our paper, whatever we need in order to get these scripts, and let's see what the Bible has to say in regards to this subject. All right, so if you are ready, I'm going to start with the Gill order. We're going to go to the Old Testament, and we're going to begin with Proverbs 8 and 13. So I may be a little sketchy because I got my notes everywhere, and like I said, I've been having a very busy week. We had a great loss in our family, and now I'm trying to get back on track with you. So Proverbs 8 and 13. Proverbs 8 and 13. And as you're looking for that, I'm going to go ahead and read. You can jot this down. You can read it later. It's a great subject of study that should be attended to. It says in verse 13, the fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride and arrogancy, and the evil way. And the forward mouth do I hate. What is a forward mouth? A hypocrite, somebody that says one thing and does another. Okay, so I think I mentioned this before in the last session. I was like, everybody hates a hypocrite, but sometimes you need to check yourself and see if you are also a hypocrite. Sometimes we judge others and we find out that in some other shape, form, and fashion, you may be just as guilty. Okay, so when it comes to hate, God said he hates evil. He hates pride. He hates arrogancy. And I can understand that, because someone is full of pride. It's like it's no room for change. The ego's in the way, just as well as arrogancy. Someone that knows everything. They got all the answers. Arrogancy. There's no room to learn. You're not a student. And you have to understand God is the master of master teachers. So if he can't teach you nothing, you're no good. So that's a karma in and of itself. Okay? And the evil way. Then those who are what I describe as a hypocrite with a forward mouth. You say something, but you can't back it up. Okay, let's go to Psalms 97 and 10. That's the book before Proverbs, okay? The book, just flip to the right, flip the pages towards the right. It's the book before Proverbs. And we're going to chapter 97 and verse 10. Okay. Ye that love the Lord hate evil. He preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. Ye that love the Lord hate evil. Well, what is evil? Okay, so it's a lot of things that needs to be defined, because sometimes you may think you know something and you realize that you don't. Okay, and we may be discussing this in the next session. Ye that love the Lord, you need to hate evil. This is a commandment. He preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. Well, that's already letting you know evil is wicked. Wicked people do evil. Okay? They are full of pride and arrogancy. Okay? They are full of a forward mouth. They are good at dissembling discord amongst the brethren. Okay? Let's go to Proverbs 10 and 12. And that's the book again. Flipping to the left. Okay, and back to Proverbs 10 and 12. And we in the Gill side. God is love. Okay, but in Proverbs 10 and 12, hatred stirs up strife. Hatred stirs up strife. But love covereth all sins. And I know that to be true. You may know that to be true. You've had a person or people to really do you wrong and treat you very, what we quote unquote, in an evil way, and somehow you're able to forgive, and look past the fault, especially when they ask for forgiveness, right? Because love does cover a multitude of wrongdoing. It really does. But hatred stirs up strife. It stirs up trouble. It causes battles. It causes mischief because of what's going on within them. Okay? There's a battle going on within the person that is full of hate. So oftentimes, what are they going to do? They're going to project it onto you. They're going to project it onto society. Because there's a lack of understanding. Somebody's been taught wrong. Somebody's been taught more hate than love. Somebody's mind is narrow. They feel that they can't love outside of a race. They can't love outside of a immediate family. They can't love outside of a nation, but you can. Love is universal. Okay? Just like hate is universal, love is universal. You can be whatever you want to be. But I will admit that you have to be taught. None of us coming in this world just knowing. We came in receiving information. Okay? So, this is the guild order. Now, I got a really interesting story we get ready to break down in regards to hatred. You know, because sometimes people feel they love you and then something shifts. And then it's like they don't love you no more. But my question is it really love? Okay, so we get ready to dabble in a story that's very interesting in the Old Testament here in 2 Samuel 13. Okay, 2 Samuel 13. So sit back, relax, and prepare for a great story that I am about to share with you. If you're not at that place yet, jot it down and read it later. And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister, and fair in other words is beautiful, whose name was Tamar. And Amnon, the son of David, loved her. And Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin. And Amnon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. Okay? Now, when I look at this, I'm like, is this love or is this lust? Because we need to be able to devise the two. Okay? Verse 3. But Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Jonadab, the son of Shimeah, David's brother. And Jonadab was a very subtle man. And he said unto him, why art thou, being the king's son, lean from day to day? Wilt thou not tell me? And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. And Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. So now it's time to put on an act. That's the first mistake right there. Okay? Becoming cunning. So Jonadab said unto him, lay thee down on thy bed and make thyself sick. And when thy father cometh to see you, or thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat at her hand. So Amnon lay down and made himself sick. And when the king was come to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, go now to thy brother Amnon's house and dress his meat. You know, that's your brother. Go on, it's cool. Go. He's asking for you. He needs you. You know, like most parents want brothers and sisters to be close enough when they need each other, they down for each other. They right there for each other. You see what I'm saying? Then David sent Tamar, saying, go down to thy brother's house and dress his meat. So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house. And he said, lay down. And he was laid down. And she took flour and kneaded it and made cakes in his sight and did bake the cakes. coming out of love. You know, I'm getting ready to serve my brother. You know, he's sick. He needs me. That's special. That's very special. And she took a pan and poured them out before him. But he refused to eat. And Amnon said, have out all the men from me. Have out all the men. I want everybody out of my house. All the people out of my house. And they went out, every man from him. And Amnon said unto Tamar, bring the meat into the chamber, that I may eat of thy hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber to Amnon her brother. And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her, and said unto her, come lie with me, my sister. And she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. Brother, what are you doing? Don't have me. I'm a virgin. Don't do this to me. Don't shame me. You know, there's a culture in effect here. And let me tell you something. And that culture is into this culture today. If that woman is raped, if she's molested, or anything like that, people tend to side with the man, even unto this day. And she answered him, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. And whether shall I cause my shame to go? She said, what I'm going to do with this shame? People going to be blaming me. I'm doing something out of love, and I'm getting ready to be hurt. But people are going to be blaming me. Women, wake up. And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Yeah, you know, ain't nothing going to happen to you. You just be a fool and maybe cat. I don't know. But it's going to be a lot of shame for me. Now, therefore, I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from you. Now, you can do this the right way. Just go ask the king, can we get together? Go ask the king for permission, for his blessing. You know, treat me right. Howbeit he would not hearken unto her. This is verse 14. Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice. He wouldn't listen to her. But being stronger than her, forced her and lay with her. He raped her. That feeling was so overwhelming. You know, the Bible says the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. It was so overwhelming. He would not hear her. So you can't tell me that that was love. He thought it was love because of the way he felt. But love don't do this. Love will be patient and kind and honoring. He didn't love her. He was in lust with his sister. Whatever kind of sister that was. Okay. Then watch this in verse 15 though. He done raped this woman, his sister. And in 15, the audacity of him. Then Amnon hated her exceedingly. That's a lot of hate. So that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love, or what I would say, the lust, wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, arise and be gone. Now he done tossed her like trash. Okay? And she said unto him, there is no cause. This evil in sending me away is greater than the other than thou didst unto me. But he would not hearken unto her. He would listen to her. He done did something very shameful. Now, just that quick, he went from his so-called loving feelings into full-blown hatred. And I understand why. Because his conscience. He knew. He knew it was he knew there was karma behind that. Really, is the secret gonna get out? That's where it's coming from. So quick. How we change when we don't get our way, or when we do something that's so improper Now we projecting our bad behavior onto an innocent person. Think about that for a moment. This is coming from somebody you would trust. All right? So let's go into the cool gel side. We're going to go to Luke 14 and 26. We're going to the New Testament. That's Luke 14 and verse 26. If you don't have time to find it, that's fine. Just write it down and study it later. Luke 14 and 26. Now this is coming from Jesus, Jesus. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brother and sister, ye and your own life also, he cannot be my disciple. Now we discussed this in the last session. Like Jesus, like if you don't hate where did that come from? Because just in Matthew 5, you was teaching love in verses 43 through 44. Let's go to that real quick. Ye have heard that it has been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thy enemy. But he leveled up on it. Okay? It's not just a common physical law anymore. It becomes the law of the spirit. He says, but I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. But over here in Luke, somehow, his whole attitude changed, right? His whole attitude changed. Let's look at Ecclesiastes 3 and 8. Go back to the Old Testament. Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. All these books are kind of close together, okay? So after Proverbs, Ecclesiastes. And we're going to go to chapter 3 and verse 8. And I love Ecclesiastes because it breaks down the laws of nature, the laws of life. And verse 8 says, a time to love, a time to hate, a time for war, and a time of peace. Who's really setting the stage when we're dealing with time? Because it's a lesson to be learned. It has to exist in order for you to appreciate, to know what the opposite is. Remember, Paul said all things are permissible, but are all things edifying? Is it doing any good? Is it promoting? Is it progressing? Is it making things better in life? That's why laws come into being. Laws are necessary. Don't mean they're the truth, but they can be necessary. Especially when we're harming one another. Because to me, the only real crime is when you harm another person. Physically and financially. That's when you need to be serving time. Anything else can be dealt with. But that's a different kind of wrong. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to close out on Psalms 139, 21, and 22. Just go back a couple of books. And we're going to do verses 21 and 22. Again, another attitude about hate. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate you or thee. And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee. I hate them with a perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. This is David talking. You know, the one Tamar's father that we just read about, whose son just raped her, who went from all of this so-called love to an instant hate. Why? Because he knew he had did something wrong and it needed to be covered up. It was in his conscience. It may not be written, but I know. I know. Okay? So we're dealing with hate. And it says in Ecclesiastes 3, it's a time for everything. I wonder why it's a time for hate. In my experience, hatred has taught me a lot about myself. So the Most High may send you an enemy to elevate you so you can look in your own mirror, so you can see the weaknesses in yourself to see where it is where you need to improve. Because maybe you didn't never know hate. Now you have to know a little hate, even within yourself, to know which side of the fence is better for you in your walk in this life, on your journey, on your path to your higher consciousness, to your higher self. Okay? So again, even though this is the climax for the subject of hate, I'm still urging you to do the assignment and come up with a backronym. Find your own meaning for hate. What does it really mean to you? Having angst, hostile attitude towards entitlement. Because at the end of the day, hate, as far as I'm concerned, has a lot to do with somebody feeling entitled. And I'm going to leave it here until the next lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to support the station. Give some thumbs, some likes, share with your friends. This is a very necessary message, and I hope to see you for the next one. But until then, I pray that truth be your happiness and your healing. Welcome, anchors, to the Soul Station here with the Spiritual Beat for another monthly podcast. I hope you are doing well. I know that I am much behind, but it is not without, it was necessary. We experienced another passing in our family, and I lost my nephew, my youngest nephew. So I'm asking all of my viewers who are prayer warriors, who are tapped into the spirit, who are truth seekers, to remember my sister and my eldest nephew at this time, including myself and the rest of the families, as well as his friends. The prince is gone, and I know he is dearly missed and is dearly loved. So please remember mine as I go forward and try to get back on track. Okay, we've been having a lot of that going on, and I know it's not just my family. So my condolences go out to all the other families that are experiencing the same thing. I just talked to somebody else who was pretty much similar to what we've been going through yesterday. So. Yeah, that was a beautiful connection as well. I hope she's in the house. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with the positive astrology cards for your planetary lineups. Let's see what's going on overall, internally, and under the surface externally. So we're going to be dealing with the Sagittarius sun. This could be you or someone else. Like I said, if it's you, it could be highly expected in your chart, but this is the energy you're going to be working out of internally and all over externally, and underlying energies you're going to be working from the 9th house. Now the 9th house deals with education, philosophy, and adventure, which is still Sagittarius energy. However, you need to find your 9th house by counting from wherever you were born. If you're Libra, let's say it's Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, and then Gemini. So Gemini is your 9th house. So these attributes are in Gemini. Okay, so we're going to read them and see how it's going to go for you this month in October. I know I should count it as a mid-month at this point, but I'm not. You know what it is if it resonates with you. Sagittarius sun, your core representation of Sagittarius is freedom, adventure, travel, and taking risk. You are fun and optimistic. You take life lightly and live in the moment. Doors open for you as needed because you naturally attract good fortune. Your essence is discovery and philosophical exploration. You are a seeker who likes frequent change, new ideas, and widely varied interests. Your talents lie in the positive and easygoing nature of your personality. You like to be surrounded by excitement and joviality. You effortlessly attract abundance when you fully enjoy and appreciate life. Now, I don't know if you like that already, But these are the attributes that you are possessing this month, okay? And it's going to help you along in your pursuits of happiness and joy and pleasure and exploration. You know, it's going to allow you to have new or different outlook on life. Okay, so your philosophies may alter. Externally and underlying energy for the ninth house represents advanced knowledge, far away travels, and mind exploration. There it is again. It's like I said, Sagittarius. The ninth house is about philosophies and profound studies. Well, we do know Gemini also deals with education as well, drafts, legalities, and different things like that. So you may be learning new things, exploring things in your field, traveling in your field. You know what I'm saying? The ninth house is about philosophies and profound studies for you students. Okay, the zodiac sign that is placed in the ninth house indicates mental pursuits and subject matters that interest you. It symbolizes long journeys to foreign lands as well as expanded journeys of the mind. Okay, and that's really fits Gemini. Okay, because they explore mentally. The path of ninth house pays for us is cultured, intellectually advanced, and open to new realities. It leads to greater understanding and awareness of the world around you from a higher perspective. And I will urge you to view the Gemini vid for this month, because you got the Sagittarius and Gemini. You should add that to your repertoire for this monthly's forecast, along with your ascendant and your moon. So fortunately for you, you get to watch about 4 or 5 vids this month. It's going to help you really understand where you are in the scheme of your life. Okay, let's get you a reference word for the month. I hope you took time to view the lesson on hate. It was the climax. Very interesting stuff. Okay, and don't forget to support the temple, or the soul station. It's still the temple. It's still spirit guides. Just moving, we're just transitioning and transforming. So go ahead and remember to give this video some thumbs up, and I really would love your comments about that subject. You know, did you get a different point of view? Did it help you along the way? Does it have your mind clicking? You know, I really would like to know. You got thank and gain. This card always comes out, but I don't care what, when this is, sometimes I don't even want to pull this deck. Thank and gain. So I don't know, maybe you're going to play a game, you're going to be thankful for it. I don't know, underlining that is every rock. Every and rock. So a rock could be like a stumbling block sometime, or it could stand for something or someone that is strong. With this exploration, maybe you're studying rocks like astrologies, like asteroids and minerals and, you know, stones and things of that nature. Okay, I'm gonna put that there for some reason. Source pointed that out for you. So whatever it is, whatever game you're playing, I don't know if it's a lottery game, if it's the game out here in this world, you need to thank it because it taught you a lot. Okay, it taught you a lot, whatever it is. So let's go ahead and see what's going on with this forecast. Everybody's getting 7 cards this time, regardless, but the amount of decks used depend on the status, and you all have earned the bronze status from the previous recordings or your previous views. Okay, so I want to thank you for that as well. Your overall energy is the 8 of Pentacles for the month of October. This stuff may already transpired, or you may be coming up on it, or you in the middle of it, or whatnot. It still stands. It's all based on judgment. You can expect the devil. It's stemming from the moon energy, and the outcome is the 10 of Swords. We have conflict and a challenge, and we have your supported blessed energy. Underlining your energy is the 8 of Swords. Okay, you feel stuck. You feel like you need to get out of a situation. You just don't know how yet. You have to look at everything. You have to look at everything, because this 8 represents change. Okay, it could be dramatic change, something you don't expect that just comes upon you that changes your life. Okay, you may be initiating this change with this underlying energy. You may be initiating this change, or you know, this could actually be someone else outside of you that's trying to break free, or trying to get around something, or trying to see how something works in your life. They feel bound, like, I don't know if they need to try to get out of a situation so you can be together. I don't know if this is you or someone else. Like I said, it's the underlying energy, but it's a lot to think through. You got to think through every step to see how things work. I don't know why, but when I got these cards, the first thing I heard was an enemy. So I don't know if this person is trying to slip into your fortress. Okay, they're bound, they're bind, or this is significant for that's what's going to happen. Okay. My phone just lit up bright on that too, so I know it means something. Wow. Yeah, the core energy is a judgment call. Okay. This could be a sign of help. Okay, this could be you recognizing divine help, additional income. That may be what you're trying to figure out. But this is divine. Okay, this is heavenly, angelically guided. Okay. I'm hearing noise. Now I don't know if this is a joyful noise. And I'm also hearing resurrection. You all are coming through very strangely here. I'm also getting resurrection. A resurrection. Okay. Something maybe that you thought was dead comes back up. Because this is dead. Dead, tired. Okay. Slander. You know, defamation. But the core energy is based on something that's true. It makes you feel good. Some acknowledgement. It's like you know God is in it. I keep hearing a call. Okay. It's definitely a lot of confusion here this month. Probably coming from not knowing how to make up your mind, not knowing what to do, not knowing what steps to take. Maybe it's too many steps to take, because your overall energy is this Eight of Pentacles, and this is somebody who is hard at work working towards their future. Okay, this is somebody who's in the making. Okay, they're doing what it takes to get where they want to go. Okay, that could be the game that you need to think. I don't know. But it's a lot of, especially for you students, it's a lot of papers to put up, a lot of demands on you in order to get that certificate, in order to get that diploma, okay, in order to get that apprenticeship, in order to earn that title, whatever it is. It's a good thing. But I feel like it's based on a call for some of you that you have to really get going and get busy. You know, it may also be dealing with additional income, but I feel like you're kind of concerned, worried, perplexed here. It's something you don't know. You're uncertain about. I feel like you need to sleep on it. It's something mysterious here this month in October. You know, and I don't know if that's just because it's, you know, that time of the year. You know, we have Halloween, House Eve. We have different ways of practicing October in terms of the Winterfest, okay? But a decision has to be made. Either you is or you're not. You're going to do one or the other. You're going to accept this person and not that person. Either you is or you ain't, whatever it is. For some of y'all, I'm hearing this could be in relations to some addictions. And I feel like for some of you, that's why you're so head down first and really concentrating on elevating yourself, doing the work. I'm hearing pastime. It's kind of your antidote for not being involved with this addiction or this addicted person. I don't know if they're addicted to you, because you know that can be true. You have people that are addicted to you, which can be very scary. Let's see what's going on with the moon. And this is like night and day here. I don't know if you're uncertain about something and then you get a wake-up call. This could be coming out of your sleep or pertaining to a dream. Definitely got something to do with secret knowledge. For some of you, it has something to do with a soulmate that is basically prophetic, a prophetic soulmate. You dreamt about this person. That's a divine, didn't I say that? Divinity is involved in this. That's a divine relationship. And I know what relationship this is. I just won't say what it is right now. But it's like something that was really low key though. And this is in the past. Or this is what's happening now. This person could be a Capricorn, or Aries, or Gemini. You're going to feel very perplexed about this dream. It's like, some of you, this is an illness as well. But for most of you, where this resonates, this has something to do with a dream and a soul connection. And it's got a lot to do with your calling. And I feel like whoever this is, this calling must be fulfilled, and you have to fulfill it together, whomever this mate is. I will not say what type of soulmate it is. I just feel like I shouldn't. And so I'm going to listen to my inner source. Now, I have to say this, and I'm not saying that this is now or this could be in the future, but there is like a passing. And I think that's why you're perplexed, because you know this. You know this. For others of you, this is just about it's still saying a dream. But you're gonna end it. Like a drastic ending is here. Maybe it's just because you can't make up your mind. You're just gonna say, forget it. Just out of nowhere, you're just gonna decide it's not even worth. You're just gonna end it. It's just, and really, if you ask me, it's God's will. Anytime I see God, anytime I see this 10 of Swords, I know it's a force. It's a force by the divine. It's like an ordered. It's like you're forced to give in, and you don't want to. You don't want to. How do I know? The devil is here. The devil is complacent. Okay? It wants what it wants. It wants everything. It wants what's wrong with the status quo? What's wrong with it right now? But somebody is feeling very drained here. You or somebody. this person outside of you, this addiction, this person who's addicted to you. Because for some of you, this is definitely dealing with a passing. I'm sorry to say that. This is a passing that has already happened. This is something you got to sleep on, whatever this is. But you're going to feel perplexed about making a choice. I don't know what kind of choice it is. Is it a choice about your path? Is it a financial choice? Is it a choice about extending your education? But either you're going to give in to this or you're going to say, fuck it. Let's see what the conflict or challenge is. It's the Page of Cups, okay? And this definitely can be a soulmate connection, but it could be this call, this conversation, this sweet connection that you had with somebody. They filled you in on something. Like I said, it got something to do with your prosperity. It's got something to do with your prosperity. And sometimes prosperity, in order to get that, you have to go somewhere else. You have to go on the other side. Okay? You may have to go to the other side to get it. Okay? Whatever that means. And for some of you, you have to be patient, or you will have to be patient in this conversation, because I don't know if it's a lot to take in, or they're just telling you a lot of stuff that you don't need or want to hear. But it's a really sweet connection, true interest. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to necessarily be a soulmate, but for some of you, it is. And we do have all kinds of soulmates, okay? Not everyone is a sensual or a sexual soulmate, but there is genuine interest in each other, okay? But this is coming from, I keep saying this is coming from a phone call, and it's dealing with a calling. What's going to bless you this month or support you this month is the Nine of Cups. Now, some of you, this is taking notes, attending a presentation, okay? Going to an orientation, being present, okay? Being present. This could be school, work, arts and business councils, or this could be a particular person that likes your work. You know, maybe you have an online platform, and maybe they're going to invest in you. Maybe they're going to tip you, you know. Maybe they're learning from you. Or maybe this is you taking in information, and now you know what to think about, what to do. That's probably why something's going to end. Because now you know, after watching something online or going to a presentation, something that's dealing with the field of interest, okay? It's going to cause you to just shut it on down, okay? It's going to cause you to say, It's going to have you giving in, but whatever it is, it's a lot of work. That's why you're exhausted. It's like you have to have the energy for this. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to have the energy for this. I'm going to go ahead and sum it up with a written word for the month of October. If you have not already supported the channel, please do it now so that you don't forget. I truly appreciate it. A word to the wise ain't necessary. It's the stupid ones that need the advice, and those are the words of the great Bill Cosby. And I'm going to leave it on that note. Thank you so much. Who am I speaking with? Yeah, my anchors. I'm sorry about that. Thank you so much for tuning into the Soul Station once again here with the Spiritual Bee. You know, I can't wait to bring you another one, hopefully next week. We'll see how that goes. But until then, take care of yourself. Remember my family in your prayers. Hotel.